we're going to discuss the concept of ditching the bowl. So most people will be feeding their dog out of a dog bowl. However, if you want to manage your time better, manage your dog's day better, ditching the bowl is a really, really good concept to follow. Ditching the bowl comes from the concept of contra freeloading. Your dog wants to work for his food. So contra freeloading basically means your dog working for its food. It's the opposite of freeloading. Ditching the bowl can make for a calmer dog. It can make for a happier dog. It can also help with things like resource guarding and with separation anxiety. You can ditch the bowl using any food that you use. So if your dog's on a kibble diet, you can ditch the bowl by using things like Kong, where you just put the food in here and you can either use a little bit of cheese, like goat's cheese, to top it off, or a little bit of peanut butter to create a little plug, and your dog has to then work for his food. You can also use things like a rolled up tea towel, or things like that you have in the house, like a toilet roll or a kitchen roll, where you've got the food inside and your dog just has to work to get it out. If you feed your dog wet food from a can or a pouch, you can also use things like the Kong. You can use the Licky Mat. You can use tubes, where you can get like BPA-free tubes and you can actually hand feed them with it. You can even use things like cut up Licky Mats and frozen if you want to make it last a bit longer. The same goes if you're a raw feeder or a fresh feeder. So if you're a raw feeder, you can pop it in a Kong, you can pop it in a Licky Mat, you can pop it in a BPA-free tube. So I portion my dog's food out at the start of the day and decide how I'm going to feed them. So if you're feeding just like a kibble and you don't have time, you can literally just scatter feed them, or you can hand feed them. You can hand feed raw or a pouch or a wet food by putting it in the BPA-free tube as well. But if you don't have time, you can simply put it in a Kong. So the idea is you want to either be enriching your dog's life with using an enrichment tool, or you want to be building a relationship with your dog using the food. So if you look at the food as payment, so if you're paying your dog with food and you're just popping the food in the bowl and walking away, you've got no part of that. So you're basically putting all the currency into the bowl and it's away in minutes. Whereas if you're putting it into an enrichment toy, or you're hand feeding them, or you're using it in training, you're basically investing into your relationship with your dog. Ditching the bowl doesn't need to be just their dinner. So you can use Licky Mats, you can use Kongs, you can use chews out with their day to enrich their lives. So some good things to pop on your Licky Mat: you can put some goat's cheese, you can put some doggy safe peanut butter, just make sure there's no xylitol in it. You can use some cottage cheese, you can use some chicken, some cheese, you can use some of their little dried treats. We have some carrots, things like that you can pop onto your Licky Mat or pop into a Kong, pop it in the freezer, and you've then got like a ready-made little treat for your dog. Anything you're introducing to your puppy, give them small amounts and make sure they're okay with it. You can use things like natural yogurt, but make sure they're not lactose intolerant first. And if they are, you can use a goat's yogurt, which usually settles their tummy a little bit better. You can also use things like carrots or fruit, and you can pop them in the freezer and it becomes a little bit more enriching for them. Your dog wasn't built to just eat biscuits all day. If you look at your dog's teeth, they're built for chewing, for ripping, for tearing. They are not bred for just eating something like that all day, every day. So giving your dog the outlet, if you're not feeding a raw fed diet or a species appropriate diet, giving your dog an outlet is vital. Things like chews, natural chews, as natural as possible. Some little yak chews, or we've got the olive wood here. To allow your dog to really chew and grip is going to be vital for their enrichment. Most people pick their puppies up about 8 weeks. Your puppy has started teething from around 3 weeks, but peak teething time would be between 14 and 16 weeks. So your puppy already comes to you teething. It's really important that you're managing that and not punishing them for things like chewing or nipping at you because their mouths are sore. Their mouths will be hot, so frozen food's absolutely brilliant for them. I cut up some little Licky Mats and prepare things like goat's cheese or peanut butter. Sometimes I'll do goat's cheese with a tiny little bit of honey. Or some mashed up banana, and I freeze that, and I've got a lot of them throughout the day, so I can just give it to the puppy when I see them mouthing or getting a bit sore. If you see your puppy is getting sore and after you've given them a little treat like the Licky Mat, it's a good time then to put them down for a nap.